guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. In this video today I will be showing you a full set of APRES Gel-X tips from scratch. I've been really loving this new system actually. I'm a die-hard hard gel tech usually, but this system is really easy to use and especially good for when I want to do a lot of nail art, because it means that I don't have to do a lot of shaping and finish filing. I can just jump straight into the nail art, which is exactly what I've done in this set. For this set I've used the natural long coffin, and here I'm just sizing up all the nail tips. So it's really important that when you're sizing the nail tips you make sure that you get complete coverage right to the sides of the nail. If you have any nail that's peeking out from under there, that means you've got an incorrect fit. Sometimes you may have to go up a size and perhaps file a little bit down on the sides just to make sure that they fit properly. But it's really important that you get that proper fit. Good thing is, if you've got regular clients using this system, if you take note the first time they come of what size their nails are, you could probably have them prepped and ready to go for each subsequent set and have them put aside. The other thing to remember is that you really do need to measure each nail individually. Not everybody's nails are the same size on each hand, so someone might have two different size pinky nails, for example. They might have different sizes there, so you need to make sure that you don't just say, oh well, they all fit one hand, so the same will be on the other hand. Fortunately for this client, her nails were the same size for each hand, so that was good, but I did make sure I measured them all individually, so that's an important step. Next step here is nail prep, which is vital for this system, as for any nail system really, but particularly with the Gel-X system you need to make sure that your nail prep is on point, and this will make sure that you don't get any nails popping off or nails lifting. So here I'm just going over the nail plate with a medium sanding band on a really low speed. So how do you know if your e-file is going slow enough for this step? I could press on the end of my bit here and it would be enough pressure to stop it. So that means it's going slow enough, you're not going to cause any damage or pain to your client. So here I'm just removing shine from the natural nail. Again, you want to make sure that you keep, if you're using a sanding band, you want to keep the angle very flat, and that makes sure that you're not going to end up with any rings of fire or any indentations in the nail, which is not what we want. It's literally just enough just to take the shine off. Next step is cuticle prep. So I'm just going around really quickly with my cuticle bit just to make sure that there is no living tissue left on the nail plate, again to make sure that it doesn't cause any lifting. If you do leave any living tissue on the nail, that means that there'll be natural oils and stuff there that can get under the nail and cause lifting. So we really need to make sure that that's all removed. Now I'm just going to prep the natural nail tips. So here I'm just using a little football bit, which I would usually use for cuticle prep. I find it a really good bit for getting in to the nail tips there. They're a good size. Sometimes using an arbor band and stuff like that, it's a bit too wide, especially when you're using it on pinky nail sizes. So, but these nail tips, they need to be etched before you use them, and that ensures that the gel's got something to grab a hold of. If they were too smooth, again, it would cause lifting and cause nails to pop off. Here I'm just tidying up the cuticle area, just going around with some cuticle nippers, just getting any straggly bits there. I don't like to be too aggressive with my cuticle work, just enough to make sure that any little bits that are sticking up are removed, just so gel can't get caught on them. Now I'm going in with pH bonder, which is step 1 in the system. This is just to dehydrate the nail plate and make sure it gets rid of any natural oils, so we get really good adhesion. So I'm applying those to all 10 nails. That just air dries. And then going in with a primer. This is a non-acid primer, and again, this just ensures maximum adhesion. This also is an air dry product, so just apply to all 10 nails. I also like to apply this to the actual nail tip as well before I apply it to the nail. I just find it gets a bit extra sticking power. So here I'm going in with the gel. So I just like to just paint it on the area that is going to be attached to the natural nail. You don't need to apply it to the entire nail tip. And then just wipe the brush off just on the very end of it, and then press it down on the nail, making sure there's no air bubbles. So I don't go right up under the cuticle or anything like that. There's no need for that. Just press it right next to the cuticle and press your way down, pushing any air bubbles out. And then I'm just flash curing it with this cute little pink LED torch that I got off Wish. I'll put the link down below. Now you will notice that I got kind of excited and I forgot to do a coat of gel on the nails first. That is what they recommend. I've done it both ways and I haven't found a huge difference between them. It's personal preference, I think. Obviously, if you want to make sure that the nails are definitely not going anywhere, I would definitely recommend doing a thin layer of the gel on all 10 nails, cure them for 30 seconds, and then go in with this step. But again, yeah, I got a bit excited. I just wanted to jump straight in, so I kind of forgot. But good news, all our nails are still on, so. So again, I'm just flash curing these probably for around 10 seconds for each nail, and then I am just brushing down the uncured gel from underneath the tip of the nail, down the nail, so you don't end up with a big lump of gel right at the nail, if that makes sense. So if you see here, I'm pushing it down where my thumb is, where I'm holding the nail, right at the bottom there. The gel that's underneath that nail, underneath my thumb there, won't be cured, because the light couldn't penetrate that. So that gel at the very end of the nail there, it's still liquid, which means you can brush it down. If you hold the nail further down so that the LED light can cure the entire thing, then you're not going to be able to do that step. Hopefully I've explained that properly and that makes sense. Now, after I've done all 5 nails on this hand and flash cured each one for roughly 10 seconds each, then you want to put the whole hand in for a 30-second cure in your LED lamp. And then we're just going to repeat all these steps again on the other hand. I really do love the speed and ease that you can apply this set with. Once you start finding your groove, you can pretty much do 10 nails in 10 minutes. That's what the APRES official system, that's what they kind of advise. You can do 10 nails in 10 minutes. Obviously, that's not including your nail prep and nail art afterwards. That's just the actual application. But I did find that it is really fast to put on, definitely a lot faster than doing a full sculpted set, which is what I would usually do. And I love the fact that the nails are just the perfect shape. You don't have to finish file. You don't have to spend ages trying to make them all perfect. You can just go straight in with nail art afterwards. So this set is definitely great for nail art enthusiasts because you can kind of get the practical part out of the way and then get into the creative part, which is, I mean, let's be real, that's what we all love doing the most. And again, after we've done all 5 nails and flash cured them, we're then going to pop them in the LED lamp for a full 30-second cure. Now this next step is optional, but it is something that I like to do. So I just like to go around really lightly around the cuticle area with my sanding band just to blend in that edge, just to make sure we don't have any sort of bumps or ridges or anything there. And also it's good in case you did get any seepage with the gel. If any did manage to ooze out the top there, this will collect it. So the base of the nail is really smooth. Now here I did just have a little bit of gel that had oozed out the top that I couldn't get with my sanding band, so I just went over it just with my little cuticle bit just to get rid of it. Now this next step is optional. I like to take the non-wipe top coat and paint the underside of the nails with it. This is basically to get rid of the stickiness underneath the nails because we pulled that gel downwards and that gel has a dispersion layer, which means it's sticky. This is just going to make sure that nothing's going to stick to the gel underneath it, because the last thing we want is fluff and dust and all sorts sticking to the gel under there. You could skip this step if you wanted to. You could just wipe it over with some alcohol to get rid of that stickiness, but I think this just finishes it off a lot more nicely. And it's also perfect if you're doing the glass nails look, because it makes sure that those nails stay really crystal clear and they don't go foggy. Now here I'm just taking the APRES sponge buffer and just lightly going over the nails. You don't need to do this. Basically, to prepare the nail for decoration, you only need to really wipe it over with acetone. This is a little extra step, but I like to do it just because I like to make doubly sure that nothing's going to peel off the top of the nail. So just giving it a really light buff, just tidying up, you know, just the very, very tips in case there's any little jaggedy bits down the bottom there. But again, completely optional. You don't need to do this step. I just like to be really thorough. And I also just find that it's good, especially just going around that cuticle area again. As you can see here, I'm still battling with this tiny little bit of gel at the base of this thumbnail. So I've had to bring in the heavy artillery and get it with some cuticle nippers and a file. I got it in the end, you'll be pleased to know. So after I've just given all the nails a light buff, I'm then just going in and wiping them over with acetone. This is actually the only step that you really need to do to prepare your nails before you decorate them. Again, you don't need to buff them. I'm just pedantic and I like to do that little bit extra. So here I'm just wiping them over with acetone, and then we get to move on to the fun stuff. So for this look, we're doing yellow nails with black Old English font kind of script. So for the yellow, I'm using CN41 from Jellyfit. After that's applied, I've gone in with Smiley from Light Elegance, which is kind of like it's got like a sparkle through it, which is kind of cute. Now, I have wondered about using a hard gel color on top of a soft gel system, because normally that's a no-no. Normally, if you use a hard gel over a soft gel, the hard gel will crack because the soft gel underneath it has more flexibility. With the Gel-X system though, I haven't had any issues thus far, fingers crossed. So try it for yourself, see if it works for you. Let me know in the comments below if you've had any issues doing that. I haven't as of yet. Now from here on in, it's all hand painting. I'm using my Get Buffed mini brush to do all the sort of intricate line work and stuff like that. Sarah's brushes are amazing. They give you the cleanest lines. They're so good. I'll link down below as well. So on the thumbs, I've just done a simple flame design, and then obviously subversive calligraphy on the rest of the nails, which is good if you are in a particularly bad mood with somebody. I used to love calligraphy when I was a kid. I was obsessed with it. I used to sit and practice it for ages, and I haven't done it in so long. So it was nice to be able to do all this lettering. But yeah, so I'm just using Light Elegance black gel paint to do all the detail work. But yeah, I'll let you watch the rest of the video without any more commentary. Enjoy. Before I forget, I just want to let you guys know that I filmed this video using my new mount from Arkon mounts. I've used so many different rigs and things to try and rig my camera up to do these tutorials, and this is far and away the best thing I've ever used. It's made it so much easier. Now, right before the end of the video, my camera died, so it didn't record me placing all the Swarovski crystals. So along the base of all the nails except for the thumbs, I placed jet Swarovski crystals, which are black, and I get all my crystals from Emerson Crystals. Again, I'll put the link down below. You can use my code. But yeah, so I'll show you the finished result next. So here is that finished design, guys. I hope you like it. Bit naughty, probably not safe for children watching the screen. My client loved them. And I'm also selling them in my Etsy store, so I will pop the link on the screen here. So if you'd like to get some, you can. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave some comments down below and let me know what you thought. Thanks, bye.